Good afternoon. When it comes to FA Cup giant killing, is there a football club in existence that can compete with Yeovil? As a non-league outfit, they were responsible for the elimination of 20 league clubs, but their most famous slaying occurred 55 years ago this month.
To the tune of the Glover's Anthem, 11 men of Yeovil roll into battle. Cinderellas of soccer, their giant-killing cup exploits have made them famous overnight. In the Wellington, where the host is one of the team, it's all skittles and no beer for Yeovil's Southern Leaguers. The serious part of their training comes on their sparsely lit ground every evening after work. There, in semi-darkness, they plan the tactics which the whole town hopes will take them through the next round. Though they're not newcomers to the game, they aren't the glamour boys of soccer. But their achievements have brought their town and their team right into the headlines. Famous for its gloves, Yeovil, with its 19,000 inhabitants, is bubbling over with cup fever. Team forecasts and experts' opinions are the study of every supporter. Player-manager Alex Stock gives his side an even chance of beating Sunderland.
But no matter what the result, we at Yeovil shall have a rattling good day out.
Having buried a second division team, Yeovil now tackle first division Sunderland, former cup winners and team of proud records. Knowing how the land lies, Yeovil are neither overawed by the occasion nor by Len Shackleton, number 10, football's most expensive player, and not even by the 8-foot slope. The Southerners play fast, open football, and encouraged by a jubilant crowd, go all out to take the sun out of Sunderland. And in the 28th minute, the unbelievable comes true. A well-judged free kick by Stan Hickman sends the ball into the Sunderland goal mouth. It bobs around dangerously, comes loose, and with a quick turn, skipper Alex Stock slams it in. With Yeovil one up, tragedy looms near. As fog sweeps the ground, Sunderland equalise, and it takes extra time to put Yeovil into the 5th round.
Yeovil are now a league club and have moved to a new ground with a more level surface, but it hasn't affected their cup form. In their sights today are Liverpool, 6 times FA Cup winners. Their most recent triumph in the competition was just 3 seasons ago. Since that treble cup winning season though, things have gone rather awry for Houlier's men. Are they ripe for an upset? Well, here to discuss the possibilities are 3 overripe pundits, Alan Hansen, Peter Schmeichel and Mark Lawrenson. This is what the FA Cup third round's all about, isn't it?
This is what it's all about, and I'm glad I'm sitting here because out there, no hiding place out there, that's for sure. You've got a Liverpool team coming here under pressure. They've got to get 3 things right. Attitude, and above all, attitude, because if you get it right...
Effort and commitment.
Yeah, no, never mind that. The attitude's got it right. If they get it right, they withstand the first 20 minutes onslaught. Yeah. Then the quality will take over. After 70 minutes, you'll cruise and you'll have a good trip home. If you get it wrong, then you'll be in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah. For big clubs, these are no-win games, really, aren't they, Peter? We've all played in.
They are and they are not. I mean, if you come out to
unless
a ground, yeah, if you come out to a ground which where the pitch is not very good, and you know, but here the surface is fantastic. It's going to suit Liverpool. You can get to grounds where you really don't fancy playing because it's not what you're used to, but once they're on the pitch here, I don't think Liverpool will have a problem. That's what they're used to, and obviously they'll be up for it. There's no doubt about that. We've been here a few hours now. We've seen the atmosphere, and they are the players that's been out there for an hour warming up. They are up for it, but as Alan said, quality is going to make the difference here.
I heard you very late last night on Match of the Day, Mark. Totally writing off.
You mean?
No, I watched it last night. Totally writing off the chances of Yeovil.
Yeah. Because I just think it needs a good sort of 10 or 15 minute spell from Liverpool. Great comment from Alex Stock there, a rattling good day out, which is, I think, what all Yeovil supporters have come up for. They queued for days for the tickets. They've been here since 10 o'clock this morning, but let's get it right. You know, there's a massive gulf in the Premier League between the top 6 teams and the bottom 6 teams, so obviously in terms of the gulf now, it's monumental between these 2 teams. Liverpool, it'll be a hard game for Liverpool. I can't sit here and say that Yeovil are going to beat them.
Yeah, of course not. Now let's have a look at the 2 sides. We'll start with Yeovil. I know you're all familiar with all their lineup. I'm not sure whether we're doing leapfrog for training in this particular occasion, but 1 or 2 names you might recognise. Paul Terry, that's actually John Terry's brother. He's supposed to be here today to watch his brother.
Apparently Peter knows a lot about this side.
I know 1 or 2 players. Lee Johnson is the manager's son, and I've been watching him in warm-up here. He looks the part. I think he's the guy that's going to take all the free kicks and stuff because he's been practicing that. And also Gal up front, that top scorer.
And Liverpool, no Michael Owen. There were rumours that he might play today, but he didn't even make the trip.
Missing the two best players, Owen and Gerrard. But I mean, if you look at that lineup, there's enough talent and ability there to win the game. But at the minute, I'm saying they're under pressure because they've got the worst combination in football. They're letting in too many goals at one end and not scoring enough at the other end. And as I say, if they come into this match and 3 or 4 of them go missing, then they'll definitely have problems.
Well, and we're guessing at that lineup slightly as well because they're very, very interchangeable, Liverpool. So even that lineup could change at the start.
Okay, well, they say he's under pressure. Let's see how he's handling it. Gerard Houllier has been talking to Damien Johnson.
Now, Yeovil away, the kind of tie, I suppose, the big clubs look at and think, oh no.
Not really, no. I mean, obviously I was amused a bit by what has been said and written regarding the tie, but we stay as professional as we've always been. We've done the homework, we've went to see them, we watched some videos, and we know about their team, their strengths, their weaknesses, and we'll just play our game.
Are you aware of their FA Cup tradition down the years?
I was told stories about that, but you know, the past is a past, and you know, I know that this country like to sort of indulge in the past memories and past events and past glory hours, but I'm not like that. You know, we just go forward, and it's obviously an exciting tie for them and for us.
You'll be aware everyone will look on and say, well, this is a potential banana skin for Liverpool.
Well, it's not the first time I heard that. We'll be prepared. We'll be extremely committed. I think that type of game requires more focus in terms of attitude and in terms of the attention and the application. And I'm a great believer that when you devote your time and energy to your skill with focus, you always get something.
With the dip in form in the league, does the FA Cup offer the best chance of some silverware this year, perhaps?
We're not in the position we would like to be in the league, mainly due to injuries and to the fact that probably some players who came on didn't do as much and as good as the others. But we know that we'll come back, and some of the young players will improve, and as soon as we get everybody back, we'll be, I would say, back there and back on track.
We didn't sound too much under pressure, but Mark, you've been amongst those most critical of Gerard Houllier and have said that maybe it's the right time for a change.
I honestly think that it is, Gary. I think if you go back to the World Cup, Japan and Korea, look at the signings that he made, Mr. Houllier, and I think in the 18 months since then, they've actually started to go backwards. You know, they stagnated for a while. I think a lot of the players that he bought in that particular period just aren't good enough for a Liverpool team. That should be up amongst the Chelseas, Arsenals and Manchester United. I honestly believe he has taken them as far as he possibly can. Not in this cup competition, obviously, but in terms of the Premiership. I don't think the board will sack him. It's not that sort of football club, as Alan will tell you, but I seriously believe at the end of the season they'll have a long, hard look at his position.
Yeah, they won't sack him, and but what you've got to say...
Do you think they should?
Sack him? No, I think they'll give him to the end of the season. I think you've got to give him to the end of the season. I think that initially he won the 3 trophies. The question is are the club in a better position now than they were 5 years ago? I think that probably they are. Certainly to the end of the season, you give him, if he gets Champions League, yeah, that's fine. But I think obviously the buck stops with the manager. He picks the players, he buys the players, he motivates the players, he tries to get the best of the players. Yeah. The results that they've been having have been unacceptable, but I think the players have got to do more. The players that go on that pitch in a red jersey have got to do more. They've got to give more for that jersey than they've been doing. I think there's too many of these players in a comfort zone where they're just turning up, taking the money and not giving enough. And it starts, the thing is, you're talking about phone-ins and the press and media speculation. The only way to get rid of that is by winning. Yeah. If you go on a run of 4, 5, 6 victories, then they'll all go away, and then you get on with the job of qualifying for the Champions League.
I think they're further away from winning the Premiership now than they've ever been since he's been there. And I think the supporters, the ones who go week in, week out, That's the way they feel.
I'm not ignoring you, Peter. They are two former Liverpool.
Enjoying this.
Actually, they said before the programme they were going to sit on the bench, and I was going to say all that, but I'm quite happy that you...
Well, I'll come to you in a minute on Yeovil. Now, by comparison, Yeovil, of course, have very little to lose and everything to gain, including a visit from Ivan Gaskell.
Concentrate, demoralise them. Who's supporting him? That's the one. Perfect demonstration. Athletics, too slow strike. Don't go to the ground like that, you donut. Great ball. Great play.
It's another great cup game here at Yeovil Park, and credit to our supporters. They've been queuing up day and night and looking forward to this game themselves, and it should be a cracking atmosphere and a good FA Cup tie.
How hard is it when you give it away?
It's nice. I mean, we know that there's a lot of interest in it, and we know there's a lot of people with a lot of questions, and you know, it's nice to have these sort of days. The boys enjoy it, I enjoy it, the club will enjoy it. We've worked very hard to create our reputation, and we'd just like to enhance it.
If it's their cup final, we ought to meet the team. Big in Somerset, they're simply huge in Yeovil, putting the giant into giant killers at 6'8", the league's tallest player.
It's an opportunity to us to prove that we are good enough to go to levels, higher levels. If you do well against a team like Liverpool and you prove that you are good, you can go up and up.
A Newcastle cast-off striker Kevin Gall has a growing reputation.
It's going to be like playing the Premiership for a day. For all us lot, it's going to be sort of a day to remember forever.
A frustrated onlooker suspended Jake Edwards would settle for a decent draw.
Put a word in with the boys to see if they could tie the game, and then I could maybe get involved in the replay. But I think we've got a chance here. You know, I think wouldn't write us off. I think we can do well at home.
Football's the family business for Johnson and Son. Lee clearly a chip off the old block.
We try to get ourselves out of that non-league mould, so now we're in the league, this is great for us again, so it's another high-profile game that we can prove ourselves against the best.
You can take the boy out of London. They took Gary Johnson out to Latvia. As their former coach, he helped secure Latvia's place in Portugal 2004.
We worked very hard for 2.5 years, and I didn't go there stamping on the table saying you must do this, you must do that. It was giving them new ideas. They'd gone down the Russian line before and decided that this time they wanted the Gary Johnson line, if you like, and we put it all together and people believed in it, which was the first thing you had to do, and once they got believing in it, then they were on their way.
Anything goes in Cup Week. Rather bravely, Yeovil don't just sing when they're winning.
'Cause the sign of a true supporter.
It was a bit of fun, to be fair, and the boys liked it.
Raise the colour of their hearts.
Sometimes players feel that songs are a bit pathetic and don't really want to sing it, but we felt this was a good football song.
Day or night, on green and white, we are Yeovil Town.
All you can do is put it out there and see whether we can get to top of the pops.
Who are?
Every now and again you get these fantastic cup games, and this is one to relish. They had won a few years back, 49 against Sunderland, 93 against Arsenal, and now they'll be saying 2004 against Liverpool, and hopefully they'll put a bust up of me before I die.
I'll never understand why footballers get themselves involved in those silly cup songs. I mean, you'd never do anything like that.
Never, never, never.
Never, would he?
Highland lads.
Okay, the new.
And there's 4 of us.
And only 2 of you.
So if you want no trouble.
And you don't want to slap.
You better teach us the Anfield rap.
You miss your true vocation.
That record went to number 3 in the charts. We got 150 quid each.
Do you think
the story of my life?
Yeah, Gary, you know in that rap song, the sea was silent.
Now, what about? I mean, you two are going to go for Liverpool. Mark's already. What about you, Peter?
Well, I'm going to stick my reputation on the line here.
Oh, yeah?
Go for Liverpool as well.
Yeah, there's a surprise.
Yeovil have got a chance. I mean, it's their cup final. They'll be hyped up like you'll never believe in that dressing room. They'll come out, they'll have a surge for 15-20 minutes. It's how Liverpool respond to that surge. We've seen cup upsets before. You know, if they get the noses in front, then they can win the game. There's no doubt about Liverpool are suffering from a lack of confidence. They haven't been playing well. there's not a better time to play Liverpool than this afternoon.
No, I agree with that. I mean, actually, we are talking about these FA Cup games as being like pleasant, you know, you take away from the Premier League and all the pressure. But I actually think Liverpool are coming here today under more pressure than I mean, they don't want this game, because it is, as it was said in that before, a potential banana skin. But I still think that Liverpool's got too much quality on this surface to go out there and not win the game.
There is a gulf in quality. If you look at the players on either side, massive gulf in quality. But you go back, if they don't have the right attitude, you look at Charlton yesterday. Yeah, if they think they can just turn up and win, then they're history.
If this has been Watford's pitch from yesterday, I would think, well, that's a chance for Yeovil. But this pitch is too good.
Okay, well, it's the FA Cup, you never know. Now, also playing today are Aston Villa and Manchester United. That game kicked off at 12:30, and Aston Villa have taken the lead with a goal from Gareth Barry, a deflected goal. Whether he got the credit or not, we're not quite sure at the moment. We'll have action from that game at half-time here, but now it's Yeovil against Liverpool, with commentary here at Hewish Park from Trevor Brooking and Barry Davis.
Well, Gary, as you suggested, lyrics of football songs are unlikely to win awards, but there's a verse in the Yeovil song which seems entirely appropriate for the day. Well, my dad rushed in, and here's the thing, he gave me some great advice. He said, now listen boy, it ain't all joy, but remember this all your life. I met a gentleman this morning who watched in 1935 when Liverpool came and beat Yeovil and Petters United by 6-2, and there were 2 survivors of that 1949 successful side against Sunderland. And the crowd here at Hewish Park are looking for their team to play in that tradition. Crowd have been into Hewish Park very early. It's to the west of a city which is famous for its aircraft factory, the Westland helicopter that almost brought down a government, or certainly caused a few problems in the cabinet, and the glove and leather factory, which is why Yeovil are known as the Glovers. So let's look at the Glovers of the day. A side that their manager Gary Johnson says he wants to play football. This is no get in there and kick the opposition. This is to try and match them on the park, but for sure win the tackles as well. And they're hoping that the pace of goal up front could cause the back line of Liverpool some problems.
Also got to look at the 2 central defenders who are very good at set pieces. Skibberton, not quite as tall as Rodriguez, at 6'8", you'd think he's scored a few at set pieces. He hasn't scored one yet, so the script has, I think, possibly been written for today, but they should be dangerous. But I think, as you say, Gary Johnson likes to pass the ball around, so you know, I think it'll be quality on this surface as well.
The Liverpool side, no Steven Gerrard, no Michael Owen. They thought they might be meeting the England front two that played in that 5-1 victory against Germany, but Emil Heskey is not in the starting lineup either. He's on the bench. Kuhl, the nearest to Laurent Cinema Pongo.
Well, he's got a lot of pace. Kuhl, of course, you know, exciting player who can conjure something out of nothing. And I think El Hadj Diouf, one of those criticised as not perhaps proving his transfer fee up to now. Let's see if he can perform today.
Sun has broken through. It's a big day for Messrs Patrick Goddard-Watts, Callum Thompson, Paul Mead and Lauren Clark. They are the mascots for Yeovil Town, slightly outnumbering Daniel McGee, who is a representative of Liverpool, although he comes from Portsmouth. The substitutes, Shearu included by Liverpool. Lutzi is the substitute goalkeeper, and Jackson, if they need extra fire up front, is the likely substitute for Yeovil Town. Well, he's looking for goal number 11. Kevin Gall. Distinctive hairstyle, that's for sure. And there is Paul Terry, who gets to play in the third round, which so far is more than his brother has. I once suspected his brother would play in the replay against Watford. And the man in charge this afternoon is Neil Barry. It's a nice day after early morning mist. For whom on the day, the mellow fruitfulness. 67 places between the two sides in the hierarchy of football. But it's who does what on the day. This is Crittenden, that's an early cross and a comfortable take, although he got a knock then. Jerzy Dudek, he wasn't too happy. Got a knock on the thigh. They've already, of course, lost Chris Kirkland for now, we understand, up to 8 weeks, having broken a finger on Boxing Day. That was a nasty knock.
Looks as if it's a sort of knee in the thigh, which can be painful. The cross is a bit of a hanging one, and it looks as if it was Fishkan who went into his own man there, really. It just caught him on his right thigh. That's the problem.
In fact, I think it was Risa. We'll be hoping that will wear off pretty quickly. Is he going to... Well, he managed to get the ball out of play, so he's got a few moments before being required to make a clearance, or indeed a save. Goal. Schmiedsen. It's a very, very good playing surface. Skiverton to Pluck to Crittenden. Played long, but offside against Kevin Gall. Comes from Merthyr, a Welsh under-21 international. Was given a free transfer from Bristol Rovers last February. And as you heard earlier in the programme, if you were with us, started his life at Newcastle, or at least on their books. Trainee there. Sami Hupia, back with the captain's armband in the absence of Gerrard. And Onsho, who was his regular partner, the centre of defence, but has been missing for so long with injuries, playing in the right-back position. Fishchan hasn't missed a game all season. This is Murphy. That's a good challenge, just as Kuhl was lining it up.
Good ball by Smith, slid through. I think it was Pluck who came across in the back position to make the tackle. But certainly you can see that Yeovil want to pass it around, but Liverpool as well with El Hadjouf set up that attack well. I think it's going to be a good footballing game anyway.
Second offside decision, Liverpool pushing well up. Hupia. Juve on the right, Schmiedsen on the left. Pongolle down the middle. Some applause for the Portuguese. Well cut out by Way. Quite have enough pace on the pass to get it through. Lockwood a little awkwardly. Back pass is from Rodriguez, the Portuguese. I don't know whether John Terry is in the crowd. He was intending to be. In fact, friends and family was going to make a double-figure representation. This is Onsho. Cinema Pongolle briefly offside. Harman, Risa. Murphy. Attempt by Kuhl. Way to Pluck. Nice little header from Lee Johnson, the manager's son. It's a bit ambitious though. giving possession away there. Schmitzer, 2 with him. Lockwood and Terry. Just, again, not quite enough pace on the ball, on the pass. Cut out by Murphy. Schmitzer. And still. Not really make a decision as to where he was going to pass the ball.
Yeah, when the ball went out to Switch, I was a bit surprised Lockwood backed off and hoped Terry was going to cover him. Certainly, you've got to close down that space and not allow Switzer to run into the penalty area and going at you.
Williams looking for the return here, Bischan across. And the free kick is against the Welshman. Williams. No doubt he took Bischan out of his path. 23-year-old from Merthyr. Scored 3 times so far in the FA Cup competition. Yeovil scored 10 goals in their 2 matches, 4 against Wrexham, 5 against Barnet, conceding 1 on each occasion. In the 3rd round for the 14th time in their history. First time as a league club. That's useful, very useful. Osho had to stretch for it. It's a goal kick, which is a little unfortunate, but it's the right decision. Crittenden complaining, but the assistant referee on the far side certainly got that right.
Oncho coming back into the side recently, playing at the right back position. He had such a long spell, didn't he, alongside Hoopier, so just got to adjust to that and just trying to get ball inside him to Crittenden. Didn't quite have the pace to get beyond him though.
Bischan, Murphy, full control when, had he been able to control the ball, he would have got Pongal away. Here's Juve. Risa. Appeal for handball. And the many bedecked in green and white. And Dudek would seem to have recovered. Little nudge by Kuhl. And Hugo Rodriguez is making his presence felt forward. He hopes. It's not been the strength of his game, but they've been working on it very hard. Johnson's free kick. That's a good claim. Olivia. And a bit of a wrestling match going on that will bring another free kick. No, it's not. Just yes, it will. Mr. Barry had given the free kick in favour of Yeovil. Juve the offender. Not too much doubt. I think that Crittenden is up for it. That's useful. That's Way. That was Murphy's clearance. Not the best. Johnson thought about hitting it. Got a bit of a deflection. That's a corner. Good stuff.
Well, great little disguise pull from Johnson. He got the ball back and then he looks as if he's going to have a shot and just reverses. A lot of space and just stretching a bit leggy, wasn't he, trying to get the cross in.
Lockwood staying forward. Luck is there as well. Williams to take. And it's rather hit to the back of the box where they didn't have height. Not the best of corners from Williams. Not a good climb. Well, the Finn. And Pongal could be away here. Got to be shepherded away. And that was very, very good challenge. Had to be, and he could not have timed it better. Nick Crittenden. Bischan. Juve. Oh, he gave him room to get the cross in. Rodriguez, which he shouldn't have done. Murphy. El Hadj Diouf. Two waiting in the middle. Interesting clearance by Skiverton, worked very well. Show. Reset. Goal. Williams. And goal, can he get there? And Sammy Hooper certainly started the match very well.
Yeah, a couple of great headers, and then again that little bit heel that would have been away, but Hoopier covered him. But it's been a bright start. The two certainly front players, Williams and Gould, look lively, quick. Liverpool pushing up, trying to hold a high line, but it will be vulnerable for anyone running from deep, as we saw just now when Pongolle just broke clear, but just hesitated a little bit. And you've got to give a lot of credit to Crittenden, who got back to make the tackle.
It's Diouf. Room for Risa to make the cross, and 5 in red shirts there. Smith's unable to do anything with it. Chris Wheel not tested yet. The important thing for Gary Johnson, talking to him before the match, was saying the important thing was that he wanted his team to stay in the match for a long time. Obviously he hopes that they can cause the major upset. He wanted them to prove they can play football. So far, so good. Sure if Alex Stock or Eric Bryant are looking down, the scorers of the 2 goals that Sunderland were beaten by back in 1949, they'd find this a very different scene. A perfect pitch that's flat. The only thing that hasn't changed, I suspect, is the passion in the crowd. Murphy, Schmitzer, good challenge, and by way, but not by Schmitzer, who will be booked, it would seem. Well, the book is out, so once you take it out of your pocket, I think referees are instructed, having done that, they have to show the card.
I think it's one of those as well, having kept possession, could have let them have the advantage here, Yeovil, unless he was going to bring out the yellow card. Schmitzer just knocked it too far and then lunged in, and Way had his standing foot taken away.
Lockwood is well forward again. Another good climb. And Liverpool's Finnish captain. Schmitzer, difficult to take with him. Risa. Pongolle coming short for it. Skiverton following in there. Diouf. Hammond. Risa wants to get involved. Good running by Diouf. Schmitzer left at the penalty spot, but he's going to have to wait there for a throw. Making sure that everyone is marked, particularly Hoopier, one would advise. Risa. Skipper stayed up there. Kuhl. Oh, that was a difficult one to take, and he took it well, because there was a possible run on the near post, and he got the big gloved hands all around that, Chris Will.
It's an important catch as well, isn't it? Not really is a tough one. When it bounces in front of you, you're never quite sure whether it's going to zip up, and whether you've got his body all behind that. Didn't pop out. That was important.
He's the man who played at Wembley in the trophy final of season before last. Made a brilliant save from Kirk Jackson in the opening minutes. Jackson of Stevenage then, now on the bench for Yeovil today. Good start. Well, they were both stretching. But There was no lack of, dare I say it, pluck on either side. But he was caught, the local man.
Just a follow through. I mean, he did get some ball there when he went there. They would have got the corner. I think he's given the free kick as it happens. Well, I thought did really well there going Barry was Lee Johnson, Gary's son. He spread the ball well, and then he went to join and knocked the ball behind the fullback in order to get them the free kick. So he's actually, I think, Link played pretty well in that centre of midfield position.
Chen. Lee's father, and it was when he was running the Watford Academy, having been invited there by Graham Taylor, then the manager of Watford, that Lee got his first chance. Clark is living up to that name. He was also in the Watford Academy with Johnson. He's got a good memory for players and a good one to find players. That's, well, I'm not quite sure why he didn't hold on to that, but he got it out of harm's way.
Well, it's a hotly hit free kick, a lot of pace. You just think at the time, oh, it's unfortunate, it's a bit too high, but as you say, Dudek doesn't want to catch it, which he thought he was going to, and in the end it's all a bit scrappy.
Yes, that was surely a ball that should have been caught. Ball went out, throw. Two for offside, and the flag is up against goal. And so far, you certainly wouldn't know there's a great gap between Division 3 and the Premiership.
I think the only slight problem they have sometimes, they've got Paul Terry right side of midfield, and he sort of gets pulled in occasionally with Kuehl, who drops deep, and he gets then into the centre, and that suddenly means they can bring Risa forward. And the only slight concern I've got at the moment is Risa coming forward from left back's got a lot of space sometimes on his side.
Hasn't quite been the Risa of previous seasons for Liverpool, though. Still to score, which is surprising, got 6 last season. That's nice, one-touch start, this is nice play, and might still be on. Final shot coming from Way, but what good football, lovely to see.
Well, there must have been 5 players, 6 players, all involved in a lot of 1- and 2-touch football, and Harry Johnson said he likes to play football, and this is terrific. Just a little ball popped up then, and certainly unluckily Way couldn't keep it down, and just got underneath it. It would have been great to see it on target. It warranted it, just the move itself.
Bischa. Diouf, Bischan, Diouf. One goal across, Sobers Rodriguez, Liverpool ball. 24 years old, 6'8", the tallest player in all 4 divisions of English football. Wipe the ball a bit. Harmon. Diouf. Murphy, good block. Goal. Juve. Murphy. Smeetser. Sure that the Yeovil supporters can be more original than that with their chant. That's a good piece of play by Murphy. 4 to pull it back to. Pongo harried out of it. Way by way. Oncho. With a bit of pressure being applied by Liverpool all of a sudden. That's good play by Harman. Kuhl. Juve. Harmless in the end.
Yeah, the final ball in was behind everyone. It just needed to be 3 or 4 yards further forward. The other one, good dummy by Murphy, pull back, but again just behind Pongo. By the time he got it under control, somebody was tackling him.
Lockwood wanting a free kick, but not getting it. Oncho. Failed to make the tackle around the shoulders. Passing whisper in the ear, I'm not quite sure what that was intended to be. Harman. Oncho. Well, I would have thought the flag should have been up, but it wasn't. Still bringing up to date with the match at Villa Park. It's now half-time there, and Gareth Barry's goal still divides the teams. Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 0. Didn't like that too much, Juve. Play by Block. This is Gaul. Confidently done. Making Jerzy Dudek run around his area a bit. He's certainly been able to run off that knock on the thigh. Up by Johnson. Terry. Somehow they've got to get it over or past that man, Semi-Huvia. Williams. Kenny's in the way.
Actually, there was a pass on there just in the inside right position. He just knocked it straight at Huvia to his left, a bit wider, and certainly a good run again by Gaul behind. He's certainly looking to utilise his pace behind that defence.
Oncho. Juve. Reister is waiting on the left, but so is Terry. Juve. Time, room for the cross. 3 in the box for Liverpool. Good save. Speaks his head.
It's one of those, he's coming back out, so not easy to get the sort of power you need to beat the goalkeeper. It bounced up quite high, but Chris Will always looking comfortable to take that.
Crittenden. Well played Way. Still Way. Combative little player.
Yeah, he's done well. They work hard. They try to push him in on Harman, who naturally does the anchorman job in midfield, so that he's pushing quite close to the 2 strikers, and if the opportunity's there, they're trying to run beyond them.
Williams in the middle, so is Terry. They're the nearest. And that's the corner. Smeetser didn't think it was, but he was the man back to mark Terry on that occasion. Roles reversed.
He needed to be as well, because Dudek came and the cross was far too deep for him to get there, so he was a bit in no man's land.
He's not actually exuding confidence. Well, that corner should be taken again because it's outside the quadrant.
I heard you.
was a different Barry who gave the verdict, not this one. Oh, he might have got that, Rodriguez, and that's a fine shot. An excellent save from Dudek, denying Williams.
Magnificent save. That was a great strike. Couldn't have hit it better to go to his right and tip it round the post. Quite magnificent, this Barry.
Really good stop. Not comfortable on the cross, but certainly with the shot saving. Away by Schmitzer. Still plenty in green and white forward. Not away yet. Pluck. It's another corner.
Well, he went right across the goal. Unfortunately for him, he turned outside, that then made it a very tight angle, and then the shot was comfortably blocked. But still the crowd stirring from that fantastic save from Dudek just before that.
And Rodriguez up in the 6-yard box. All a bit strong and a bit long. Well kept in by Williams. Finally Liverpool get it away, and for a moment it's 2-on-2 here, and Rodriguez sprinting back down the middle. It's Kuhl in possession, Pongol is the support, now Schmitzer as well. No decision made in time. It's a bit the story of Liverpool's life. They used to be able to do things without thinking, but these days they think for so long. Terry. Crittenden trying to stay onside.
He stayed onside, all right. Yeah, just overhit by Paul Terry, but
Dudek certainly producing the save of the match so far to keep the ball out from Williams. Good strong hands, wrists, everything. Turn it away, but that is Dudek at his best.
Well, the only way he had a chance was it was just slightly off the ground. If it had been along the floor, he wouldn't have stood a chance, and so he did very well to get across first of all, and then, as you say, secondly, to keep the wrist strong enough to not buckle, because there was a lot of power behind that.
It's third season. Dudek. Awful. And now he's going to get another run in the team. Sorry for Chris Kirkland, who seems to be always troubled by injuries. Goalkeeper of huge promise. Williams. Huppier. Pluck. It's a little more misty than it was 5 minutes ago. Pongol trying to hold off the man Mountain. Shouldn't really have a player of that size in the team when you're trying to make a giant killing, and you've got the giant yourself. That's not untypical of Reese's finishing this season.
Well, he had been a disappointment for me here, because his attacking play, I thought, when he first came to the club was excellent. He just seems to have lost his way. And certainly that one never anywhere near on target. You've got to say, in the opening, 26-7 minutes, it's the home team who've been the most impressive, and I don't think Gerard Houllier will be particularly happy.
Yes, it's not exactly Monsieur Houlier's holiday. Honcho. Cinema Bongo. Neatly done by the German. Hammond. Juve. Ball back bar 2. It's coming across the front of the green and white hoops. Picked up by Way. Looking for goal. That's a very good ball. Bischan, though, doing a good job holding him up. Support arriving for goal. This is Way. But he played the more difficult ball. And Liverpool survive again. Bongo, Cinema written on his shirt. And he's got his free kick.
I did think it was one, but he knocks it past, and then look, he does block him off with his arm. I'm not sure if Pongo would have caught it, but he's prone to take the tumble.
It's going to be Murphy this time. Huppier is up on the far post. Back everybody is the far side of the penalty spot. Brisa, Pongo, Hupia, Juve, Kuhl, all battling the position. Down to Kuhl, flick over the top, and backing in by Pongo on Rodriguez.
It's a great early free kick by Johnson. I think Johnson certainly in the centre midfield and Way have done excellent.
Now they call those two and Paul Cherry the Musketeers. They certainly do battle together. Harmon. Kuhl. Went too soon, Cinema Pongo, and had to stop because he would have been offside. Osho. Juve. Division side more than holding their own here. Liverpool haven't shown us too much, to be absolutely truthful. A lot of pushing the ball around. No great insertions. Best save has come at their end from their goalkeeper Dudek. Schmitzer, if he can touch it backwards. That was well reached by Lockwood.
Good sort of touch, and also a kind rebound, because it could have rebounded straight to Pongo to go through, but they wanted that bit of luck, Yeovil.
Brisa, everything to his right in a red shirt. And Harmon coming across. Terry just content to push him further back. Burpia. It's too long. It's miles offside. Scored in the last two matches. Smith everybody was well offside there.
Just taking it in turns, come from that wide left position to try and get through the middle, with Harry Kuhl dropping that a little bit deeper as that second striker today.
Haven. Schmitzer. Kuhl. Murphy ahead of Kuhl. Risa.
Well done, Yeovil. Liverpool showing a lot of patience, spreading it, trying to switch play, and they just can't quite get that little bit of time and space they want to give the quality through ball. That's because Yeovil are working so hard.
Risa. Murphy. Slight help from the upper arm. Schmitzer. Kuhl deciding to go in, when in fact Schmitzer wanted width, I would have thought. Terry. And he came off the worst with Risa. Referee allowing play to continue, and Rivia puts it out of play.
Just got caught nasty with the follow through. Into a nasty injury there. You can see, knocks the ball inside for the pass, and then Risa really should have been a free kick, but I think he catches him with the full force of his weight, really, and with his leg hanging out like that. That's all. You can see that's nasty. Left leg.
On the face of Gary Johnson, who's had such a wonderful time since he came to Yeovil from being the boss of Latvia, having helped them change their attitudes. It's produced a place in the finals of Europe in the summer. These supporters have seen Johnson lead his team to win the FA Trophy in his first season, to win the conference last season by a record margin, scoring 100 goals in the process. It's not quite nail-biting time yet.
He's a tough cookie, like his brother really, John Paul, but had quite a spell at Dagenham and Redbridge. Essex man, of course, so they make it tough there, but that is a nasty challenge, and and I hope he'll be able to continue, but he's still on the floor. What do we got? Still 11 or so minutes before half-time, so it's not as if you could wait until that break to see how he's going to recover.
It's 4 consecutive seasons with different clubs that Paul Terry has been in this round of the Cup. It's the 4th round last season, but now causing concern to his manager and the crowd. And a long delay here. Skipper comes across. Terry Skiverton. Imminent. That's Kirk Jackson, which would mean a bit of reorganisation of the side, I would suspect.
Well, I thought Williams would have to go a bit deeper then, because Jackson's usually a striker, but we'll see.
No Yeovil player wants to miss this. The one who has to is Jake Edwards, because he's suspended. I think he would have been in the starting lineup as a front player, certainly would have been on the bench to come on if not a starter. Terry getting deserved applause. Restarts with the throw, the ball was put out of play. It's Harmon. Murphy. And Paul Terry is immediately back on the field and looking okay. Schmeitzer. Pongo. One way and then the other. Terry got enough of that just to stop the attack. Orisa. Dietmar Harmon. Murphy. That's a little unkindly. Forshaw came up rather more sharply than he might have anticipated. Way. Back to Colin Pluck. Colin Pluck again. Williams. Put down well. There's not much width though. As that proved. Risa tells Pongo to go on the run. It's very calmly done. A great surprise to find that Yeovil, having been promoted, are doing well in the 3rd division. Oh, that's a mistake though by Rodriguez. Oof! And that's not the best of challenges that he got away with. Goodness me. A couple of bad moments there, the Portuguese. Lucky that he hasn't had to pay for either. Murphy. Got the wrong side. Williams got to be careful. Just a look from Murphy, but the referee was well placed. Doesn't even bother to shake his head. Harmon. And that's a free kick, a trip by goal. After all that, seemed to be a rather silly infringement.
I think he got it right with the other two. Rodriguez missed kick, and he dropped him in trouble, but I don't think it was a foul on El Hadjouf, just as I think it was just a little lean on Murphy, who went down in the penalty area. So, but Liverpool just putting a bit of pressure on the man.
Wasn't the best of couple of moments for him though. Giving the ball directly to Jude, and then just making sure that Jude wouldn't get past him. I suspect there was more of a fall than a push, if you see what I mean.
I definitely do, yeah.
But what a shame for Paul Terry. He has had to come off, and it's Andy Lindegaard who's come on instead. Yeah. It's a midfield player. Rodriguez got that right. Not with huge confidence, but good enough. So it's a straight swap with Andy Lindegaard, who's a local boy, born in the town. It's his chance. Harmon. Sophia. Painstaking for Liverpool. You would rather assume that for a Premiership side it shouldn't be quite so painstaking. Diouf. And he was looking to go down. He was running out of room. Had two for company. And in fact, Diouf is booked.
Well, I think it's a good decision, because I thought the other one was a tumble with Rodriguez, and El Hadji was in a position. He did a good bit of skill tight to the touchline, and they would come in, and he could have put in an early left-footed cross, and he just sort of went towards the byline, waiting for somebody to touch him and try and get a free kick, and so you know, the yellow card's been shown.
I'm not sure that the word early is in his vocabulary. Osho. Diouf.
With that, you know, you can just pick up that yellow card for that, and then sometimes you can actually make a challenge, just get it missed time, and you pick up your second one, and you do get an early bar, so you know about the early then.
Ivan. Skiverton to Johnson. And the bird on the touchline. Liverpool defence shuffles from one side over to the other. Skiverton, that's not a great ball. It was Lockwood actually who played it forward. Harmon. So you see into the last 5 minutes of the half, and quite a few moments added, I would have thought, for the injury to Terry. Match which needs something to lift it a bit.
I think Williams could have just flicked it to the left there. Certainly Britterton was galloping down that side. They then knocked it too wide here. Just, I think, lost their rhythm a little bit since the Paul Terry injury. Not so much the fact it's gone off as the fact that there was a long delay, and just haven't quite picked it up since then.
Lockwood. Free kick for the challenge by Risa on Williams. Forward at the moment. Skiverton is underneath it. So was the player behind him. Pluck. Harmon. Runs 10 yards to pick up a 2-yard ball off the back player. And here's a bit of space, and the goalkeeper decides it's not his. This is Smitsa, and here's Diouf. Real chance.
Well, Lockwood did well there, right back, because you know, they wondered shall we come out here. The good ball in from Moncho. Suddenly he is clear. A bit too tight to have a shot, so looking, who should I pull it back to? And just pulls it back to El Hadji, but Lockwood very, very close to him and doesn't let him get an angle to get a shot on goal, and misses at the near post.
Marshall's head. Pluck covering. That's not the easiest back pass in the world. And did it with some style.
Very good, I tell you what. He's had a little run out on the pitch on some occasions. There's a lot of goalkeepers wouldn't have been able to cope with a dodgy pass back that was.
Not too much to do, Chris Wheel, but 21-year-old of some confidence. Murphy. Swiss Park certainly being increasingly shrouded by the fog. Coming from the left end. Diouf. Stoppage time. So we come into the last minute of the 45. This is Crittenden. Not a bad try, I suppose, in terms of the run, but there was no power in the shot.
In the end, Johnson on the left was the person probably to release it to, who ran outside him.
Yes, they have rather lost their flow. Liverpool still struggling to find theirs. Diouf, obviously not the most popular man around. Still, from Liverpool's point of view, not the most productive.
Not the most popular with them after that cross. They've just had a little swap over. Al-Hajjif and Schmitz for the last 5-10 minutes. Just, you know, he's come over to the left and Schmitz on the right. They did get Schmitz clear, but I think Gerard Houllier will just say that probably this period has not been good enough. First 45 minutes, only the last 10 minutes since that injury to Paul Terry, the break. But they're beginning to assume a bit more authority in possession than we would have expected.
Up by Osho. Skivington. That's a free kick against him, denying Kuhl the chance to get up. There's the confirmation. No problem with the ball, so often does cause problems, but Mike Dean holding it up and getting it right. Fourth official. This would be a bad time to concede. Kuhl, Murphy.
So far, isn't it? And probably a lot of recent games with that final third, the final ball, where you'd expect Liverpool to open them up or thread it through, just squandered it really. I wouldn't expect that normally with a side of this quality.
It has to be indicative, Trevor, of how much they miss Michael Owen. The sort of pace of movement that he offers, it's just not there, is it?
Well, also the dominance of Gerrard, that they are the best players, and certainly he's a key influence of giving them the control they haven't enjoyed as much as they would have liked it.
It's Harry Kuhl. Crittenden facing his run. Hammond. Throw in to Liverpool. It was his sort of range. He's been known to bury a few from that range. One in particular one remembers at Wembley. That, of course, was a dead ball, free kick. And definitely in danger of causing problems. This increasing fog. Schmitz trying to take it on his chest and thought that he was put on his backside unceremoniously. Gaul hasn't seen that much of the ball after the early exchanges.
Got plenty of people forward.
Lindegaard. Disappointing from him and for him. It's Diouf who clears. Lockwood. This is promising until Semi Hofio arrives. Yeovil ball again. Just about time for one last attack. Or not, as the case may be. Neil Barry bringing the half to an end. The best save of that first half undoubtedly came from Jerzy Dudek, denying Gavin Williams. Not exactly pulsating stuff, it has to be said, but Yeovil have acquitted themselves well. And they might be going into the dressing room feeling that they will be disappointed in some ways with the opposition, that they're not giving them the sort of challenge that they'd expected. It's a blank score sheet. Who can do something about that in the second half? Got your boots with you, Gary?
I haven't got any anymore, but I wouldn't want to play out there. But I've been very impressed, I have to say, with Yeovil's performance. I mean, the fog's coming down quite rapidly now. I don't know whether the game's going to be under any threat, but 55 years ago, it was these sort of conditions that they beat Sunderland. And
fog might save Liverpool.
Yeah.
At one stage, I thought Liverpool were in green, but I mean, we did them a disservice at the top of the programme, saying there's a gulf in quality between the players.
Well, there has been.
Well, exactly, there has been, but it's the other way about. Yeovil have been terrific. Right from the word go, they took the game to Liverpool, they passed it and they moved. They were strong defensively, they've had 3 or 4 great chances, they've annihilated Liverpool down the left-hand side. Oncho basically doesn't know where he's coming or going. Liverpool have sort of come into the last 10 minutes, but the first half has been all Yeovil.
They definitely has exposed Liverpool's weaknesses down the flanks. We've talked about Reza hasn't had the best of seasons so far. Anshaw's come in and he most certainly doesn't work in with Juve as a pair. And the left-hand side has just been awful. The defending has been awful, and the crosses that Yeovil Town has been allowed to put in the box and created dangerous situation from just for Premiership team. That it's really bad.
But there's a purpose and a passion about Yeovil which is sadly lacking in Liverpool.
Well, not only a passion, but you have to be impressed with the style of their football.
Well,
they've kept the ball, they've been creative.
The movement, you know, if you're in a green and white shirt, there's always an option, there's always someone available. They've made the better chances. As we said about, you know, Dan Liverpool's right, they're causing all sorts of problems. And at the moment, Liverpool basically are passengers.
Yeah. There's one thing you have to do to win a football game, and that is to work hard. And they've done that. Liverpool haven't started the game
I
yet.
don't think their attitude has been that bad. I just think they've been poor. They've been poor. I think Yeovil are the better side.
Is this a true reflection on Liverpool's season, this sort of performance?
Yeah,
is the way they've been?
I think that basically what you're seeing here is a Liverpool side that's suffering from a total lack of confidence. I mean, you've got players there that are talented midfield players that in the first 45 minutes can't find a red jersey. When Mark's talking about options, there doesn't seem to be options for Liverpool. When the player's in possession, normally you're looking for 4 or 5 people to pass it to. Liverpool haven't got anybody. Subsequently,
not that.
I mean, they put no pressure on Yeovil whatsoever. The pressure's all been coming at the other end, and they've looked distinctly vulnerable to the crosses into the box.
And we've seen a few chances for Yeovil, probably the best of which fell to Gavin Williams.
Well, yeah, it turns out it was an excellent save in the end by Dudek, who sees it very late. Again, confusion from the cross, hits it early. I tell you, that was a top-class save.
Yeah, great strike.
Quite late, Peter.
I've been watching them all season. They're so vulnerable to the ball in the box. It is unbelievable. They can't get the first one.
He's
very Williams. That's a brilliant save.
I mean, I'm amazed because if you look at Williams, you look at Gal, you look at Johnson, they're small players, and every time they put a cross into the Liverpool box, what's say Liverpool? They are big players, all of them, tall players.
On the left-hand side again.
Every time they put a cross in, they haven't dealt with that.
Colin Pluck there.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Well, the Liverpool hasn't started the game yet. That's not Premiership quality that at all. That should be cleared a long time. And first of all, he should have been stopped before he put the cross in. I mean, they're not closing anybody down.
It's simple football as well. It's nothing complicated. This was the best passage of play. This is excellent.
This is Premiership football, isn't it?
I tell you what.
Last move.
Yeah, outstanding.
Brilliant flick.
Backheel flick.
I mean, a bit unlucky in the end way, wasn't it? It bounced up on him. But in terms of actual play, which is a Premier League team.
It's excellent play, it really is.
Excellent. Gary Johnson was talking about the Gary Johnson way at the top of the programme. And if that's the Gary Johnson way, I mean, Yeovil Town, they're going somewhere.
Yeah,
that's good football. It's got a group of young players there, and they're playing ever so well today.
You talk about Liverpool, right? It used to be you went to Liverpool knowing that they're going to win. No, you're expecting them to win. You know, you're hoping that they win, not expecting them.
Yeah.
And I think that 3 years ago when you're
you are, not everyone.
No, 3 years ago when you're watching Onshore Nippia, they were like brilliant. They were a rock in the centre defence. Now, when you go and watch them play, every time you see the ball come into the box, you think they're going to lose a goal.
Yeah, Yeovil have caused Liverpool a lot of problems down the left. You mentioned that with Oncho.
Yeah, I mean, Onshaw's not a right fullback. There's no question about that. I mean, they've been allowed to put too many crosses into the box. This is Jesse Dudek started the game very well. By doing that, I think he got a small injury there. But you look at this. It's got six Yeovil players in the box against the Premiership team, defending with full. I mean, that's not on. That's not Premiership defending. And Yeovil is just time and time again in the first half have exposed all Liverpool's weaknesses, and definitely been the better side.
The problem is for Liverpool, you've got a man who's playing right back who doesn't want to be there on show. He wants to play at centre back, and his first movement, Gary, is to sort of go along the centre backs. Consequently, it's causing all sorts of problems. The goalkeeper started flapping. Yes, he made a very good save. As Alan says, you know, every time that ball comes in, it's heart in your mouth time. But Liverpool not even pressurised Yeovil, and it used to be the strength when they were playing well. They would stop teams playing on. You know, if you don't play well on a bad day, Liverpool, they would stop teams. They don't even do that.
The thing is, you've got to have the ball. Liverpool have not had the ball. Yeovil have had it. They've had it. They've passed it. They've played.
They played a little bit better the last few minutes, and probably Liverpool's only real chance that fell to Smythes, although he squared it back.
Well, he cut it back to El Hadj Diouf. It was decent play down the right hand side. Good bit of movement. He's cut it back, but I tell you what, the Yeovil are back in numbers and the defending's really good. Well, and that sums up, that's the best chance in 45 minutes of play.
We just showed an exit at the other end. There were 6 green and white shirts in at the other end trying to score. I think there's 2 there. There's 2 Liverpool players actually trying to get in the box and score a goal for them.
But they've
defended where they had to.
They've been resolute, but what they've done is they've covered for each other. And when they've come under any pressure, then they'll have men there in numbers. They've made critical tackles. You know, it's been a perfect display for 45 minutes. The only thing that's lacking for them is a goal, and they should have had a goal.
And the thing, I think that the way they play, it's a hard way to play. It takes up a lot of energy, and it's a way that you can maintain that for 90 minutes. And I think they were hoping to go in half-time with a goal in the back, 1-0 up, and then they could sit down and defend.
Okay. Well, just want to pause a moment because we want to see what's happened so far at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Manchester United, watched by...
In the face of the Portuguese, and the hairstyle, which, depending on the colours, is used all around the country these days. And certainly we've learned a fair bit about the home support. The away support will be a little disappointed. Well, the hat almost makes him as tall as Rodriguez, the mascot of Yeovil Town. Neil Barry, the final check of the watch. Can Yeovil do as their manager wants and keep going as they were? And I'm sure his opposite number would have asked, if not demanded, a great deal more from the men in red. Foul by Cinema Pongo.
Yeah, just on the conditions, I think the fog did lift a little bit just as well. Probably we've got a 1 o'clock kick-off today, so I think we'll get through it. Now, probably Yeovil, as Gary Johnson said, just got to pick it up as they did for that opening 35 minutes in the first half.
In comes Pluck, beaten to it by Onsho. Look at them all running for the throw. Good example of keenness. And it was a fair point. I mean, they will certainly feel that they are just players in red. Nobody in the Liverpool side has given them any real worries. Kept in play, but only helped Onsho to clear, or try to clear, which he didn't do too well. Johnson, another good ball from Johnson. He and Way, both excellent in the first half. And here's goal! It was Risu who flung himself at the ball. First blood again to the Division 3 side.
Well, they've had a good spell again. He's just hooked on then, and from a tight angle goal, good block, and could have fallen kindly for one of the other Yeovil players. Got to say, the opening itself came from 3 passes just given totally away by Liverpool. You know, the start of this half again, they've been really lax.
Warriors head, Crittenden, Pluck. Almost a foul by Williams. Just couldn't get enough of the shirt. Cool. Hyman brings her out to the left side, but we go backwards before going there. Well, they go backwards, but more accurate. Murphy. Onsho. Juve. Pongo moving slightly to the left of centre. Here he is. Off the arm of Rodriguez, he thought. Referee thought otherwise. This is Lindegaard. It's the chase for goal. Igor Vishchan. The bearded Onsho. Looks quite thespian with that beard. Not had the happiest of days so far, as Alan Hansen was saying. Hammond. Murphy making the forward run, which is matched by Way. Rodriguez. Osho. News of another third division side. Cheltenham, who are playing at Fulham, and they've scored the opening goal of the match to lead 1-0, 5 minutes played, and McCann was the man who provided the finish.
Gavin McCann, ex-West Ham. I just thought I'd toss that in.
Well, I set you up for it. Might ask you why he's ex if he's scoring goals. Here's Harmon. Risa. Juve sort of lolloping forward. They won't forget him. Booked for trying to win a penalty. Murphy. Smitsa. Good solid challenge. Very good. That's a good ball for goal if he can hold it, and he can. Bishchan across. Johnson in the middle.
Well, it's a terrific break, counter-attack, good ball in. I just thought, wonder for a moment whether Hoopy was going to stretch out his leg, and he could have deflected it past his keeper.
It's Pongo. Can't get past Rodriguez.
That's quite funny when he took one stride to Pongo's 3 or 4 there, but managed to divert it. But can they just get a good delivery then, Liverpool?
Well, it's their first corner. And we're in the 51st minute of the match. 4, as you see, from Liverpool, and a slight delay. There was something that took the referee's attention, and it's because Emil Heskey is to be brought on, and Pongo has played his last in this match. So one of the 2 England players they were expecting to meet, or indeed hoping to meet, of the Liverpool attack does get into the action, because Gerrard and Owen both missing.
Yeah, it looked a bit disappointed, Pongo. Hadn't really had a good supply to utilise his pace. Heskey, of course, different type of option. He and Rodriguez be a good competitive task as this cross comes in.
Juve. That's your claim by Chris Reel. Don't know whether, Trevor, in your elevated position now at the Football Association, I'm allowed to correct you, but the man who scored the goal for Cheltenham was Grant McCann, not Gavin.
Did I say Gavin? I just tested you there. And Grant McCann is also ex-West Ham. Oh dear, you really... imagine next time I go in West Ham, the stick I'm going to take.
I had to be informed, I have to tell you. That's what producers are for. Here's Heskey. Good stop, Wheel. Came to meet him really well. That was a shot on goal. We haven't seen too many of those from Liverpool. Murphy. Liverpool been suddenly lifted by the arrival of Emil. Oh, bit of a dive over the top by Lockwood. Some cost to himself. He's getting up very gingerly. Juve. That was a very good piece of goalkeeping by Chris Reel. Came out, narrowed the angle well, and got a really good block in.
Yeah, Yeah, good movement by Emil Heskey as well. He laid it back, moved into that inside left position and spread himself well, didn't he? I think Chris Will, well, he's only 21-22, done excellent so far.
Comes from a sporting family. He's got a twin brother who's very good at modern pentathlon. Might see him in the Olympics one day. 2002, he was the top-rated junior in that testing event. They really do look identical. Lockwood recovered from his knock. Skilleton centrally placed. 3 Liverpool players in the box. Way by way. Risa. Well, they haven't done too much for that 62%, it has to be said.
Well, you're doing this patient build-up again now. I just think having created the chance against them with Emil Heskey's shot, they just should step up the urgency, pressurise them, really sort of put them on the back foot, Yeovil, and really try and get this goal at the moment.
Juve. Risa, that's a better ball. 3 in the middle, played early. Comfortably claimed again by Wheel.
It was a good move. It was a bit too close to the keeper, Risa, but I've got to say, you'd expect one of the strikers to try and be trying that little bit harder to have made something of it.
Yes, just to take up your point about patience, I mean, a lot of the patience is in their own third or the middle third. They certainly don't want patience in the final third. Some activity and confidence. Smeetsa. Referee happy with that challenge on Crittenden. Heskey. Taken by Smeetsa. Good foot in by the big man. Murphy. Certainly Liverpool have been lifted by the arrival of Emil Heskey. Good strong header out by Pluck. Risa. No difficulty for Pluck this time. Crittenden. All a bit tight. A bit too clever perhaps. Here's Harry Kuehl. Well, it's interesting, he went with one, actually cleared with the other, and goal down the middle. Good play by Sami Hyypiä.
Just not getting so far up the pitch now, Yeovil. They're getting pegged back, the midfield getting passed by, and having to help out the defence. And when they get the ball now, they can't support goal up front.
Juve. Foot in, and in the good, and the corner then saved. The last match on this ground, Yeovil lost to Kidderminster, and former Liverpool old boy, Jan Mulby. And a modicum of success yesterday might have been even better for them. This is Skipperton. Offside. Actually lost their last 2 league games, Yeovil, but playing this one with confidence against their supposed betters. Confidently tell you that the man who scored the equaliser for Fulham in the 8th minute, Louis Saha, is not a former West Ham United player. So it's 1-1. Nearly said at Craven Cottage for QPR's ground, Loftus Road. Kuehl. Murphy. He just did enough to force the turn goal, indicative of the industry of the hoops, but at the moment, for the first time, Liverpool are running the game. This is Juve. Heskey over the top. Skipperton close enough to him.
They're using the width better than they did at any stage in the first half. Obviously not Heskey out wide, but Juve is holding that wide position on the left. Smeetsa, when it comes this side, is going wide on the right, and the 2 fullbacks given a little bit better support. Honcho not comfortable in attacking areas, but at the moment it's down the flanks. They're beginning to open up Yeovil.
Murphy. Risa. Again, the outlet is Juve. Good pace. Good challenge. Didn't know he had the ball. It's Lockwood who ended the attack, but it keeps coming back now. It's a testing spell, this, for Yeovil. Point is relative, but Liverpool ticking better. Clark ends that. Goal is somewhat isolated. Honcho. Juve. Risa. Heskey. Do they want Heskey there is a question I might ask. Crittenden. And again. And this is Williams. And that's a corner.
Oh, well done. Sort of scrappy ball given away by El Hadj Diouf when they had a lot of numbers, a lot of options for him, and suddenly gave Yeovil possession, and now they've got a set piece where they can get people up.
Is it to be a goal on the hour? Williams. Answer no.
That's a waste when you put one in there and hang it up there. It clears everyone and really is catching practice even for Dudek.
That's well trapped. Mistake by Lockwood, they need to recover from. Rodriguez helped him out. Wait. Handball. It's given away, taken too quickly really by Lockwood. Throw in. It's got to look Juve. One win in their last 5 games for Liverpool, which they went out of the other route to Cardiff. Murphy. It's a foul by Juve.
Just over-elaborating there, Liverpool. You just feel they've had so much possession, they should have created more chances other than just the Heskey one. This is just the arm coming across there, not interested in getting to the ball.
Lockwood. It's intended for Lindegaard. Here. Ivan. Bishchan. Slow. Where is the quick? Well, Smitsa was offering it. This is Kuhl. Heskey. Smitsa. Bishchan. Kuhl hoping he could turn on it immediately. Good play by Lockwood. Oh, it's off the post from Smitsa. Juve. And somebody down in the box. But Smitsa very unlucky. Scored in the last 2 games and was the odd coat of paint away from making it 3-3. The injured man is Colin Pluck.
Well, that's the shot outside the area. A bobbler, but right into the corner. Came off as I say, the woodwork, and in the end, scrambling it away. That's where Colin Pluck picked up the injury. But it's one of those nasty ones, and we're not really close to getting to that.
Always a danger too that it comes back off the post and hits the goalkeeper and goes in. Don't think he'll be off for long. Pluck. Murphy to take the corner. Risa. Going by Lockwood and then by Rodriguez. He's slowly building his own fan club here. Rodriguez, you get the impression. A bit too close to each other. And that was a knock for goal then. Murphy. That voice you can hear is a slightly sore-throated Gary Johnson, the manager. Talking to everybody this week. Made himself very much available to the media. Bischan. He's neglected his main job, that is clear. He's got a useful side here. Duke and Crittenden. It's another corner.
Well, it's a spell where Gerard Houllier will just feel his side has got to score. They're having so much of the ball, not creating too many chances, but surely something must come from one of this.
Juve. Solidly out again. Murphy. Hopeful not on. Heskey. That's a good rollout. This is Lindegaard. Gall has run to the right. Way now going behind Lindegaard. Here's Gall. Way. Lockwood. Johnson. Needs a bit of width this side. Here's Pluck. Crittenden wanted it early. And that's a good ball from Pluck. Everything inside him. Way. Quick look to see what was around. That's not the pass that was wanted though. Give a chance to Cool. Skipperton trying to get back in position. Rodriguez coming across. Cool. Rodriguez not to be pushed off the ball.
Done very well. He may look ungainly at 6'8" at times, but he's got a toe end or his head to the board. And up to now, he's been pretty solid.
Good left-footed clearance. Risa. Well, it wasn't, in fact. Williams. Still Williams! But not a testing shot at the end of a promising run.
It was a great run, and he opened it up perfectly for him, knocked it beautifully, weighted on his left foot. He just went for the curler, didn't really follow through, and it was the power that was required to beat Dudek.
Juve. Hammond. It's got a deflection for a corner. Gives me the chance to tell you it's full time at Villa Park, and Manchester United have beaten Aston Villa by 2-1. Fergie's side in the hat and Monday's draw. It's a good header. Nasty one that goes harmlessly away, but it's another corner. Good header by Pluck in the middle of all that. Not quite where Rodriguez intended. Juve. Could have gone anywhere. Near a corner flag and goal in the end from Deep Mohammed. That sums it up, doesn't it? They're Liverpool supporters you're looking at.
Well, the senior side totally dominate the second half. And for all that domination of possession, they've just created too few chances.
Show. Murphy. Bishchan, Foray forward. Not for long, he's retreating now. Here he is. Harmon. Everybody back behind the ball now for Yeovil. They allow themselves to be forced back. They will probably allow themselves to be knocked out of the competition.
Everything's going through Harmon. Certainly in that first period there, and Way pushed right up on him, and there he is now just closing down Murphy, but he's been too deep. I think the whole Yeovil side have been too deep.
And here's Heskey, first time shot, and scores! Smile on the face of Big Emile. A week ahead of a birthday. And suddenly there was the gap. Needed the first time shot. And in the 70th minute, the Premiership side take the lead.
It was well worked. See here, really knocking it inside, and the ball really through to Emile Heskey, whose movement was excellent. Really the same sort of movement that got him the opening on the inside left position, this time inside right. Knocks it back across the goal. I don't think Chris Will had much chance at all, but it was good build-up, and as I say, Heskey's just given that little bit of extra movement perhaps than Pongo. Look there, he was in the centre, just pulls away from his man, and then just drags the shot right across the face, so they go into the corner.
Back immediately come Yeovil, but an offside flag. Emile Heskey, a week short of his 26th birthday, has given a present to his manager. Present of relief, I'm sure, to Monsieur Houllier. Now what, Yeovil?
Well, now they have to take a chance. It's almost as if they were getting pushed back and thinking, well, let's keep it tight, perhaps we can get a draw out of this, but it was inevitable. You just felt that the goal was going to come. Now they have to push up as a side. Doesn't matter if they concede a second, they've just got to take the chance, but a little bit more relief back there.
Williams, Harmon away. No real change on the face of the manager following Heskey's goal. Got some sympathy for him because he's been missing key players for so much of the season. And that is a factor in the disappointing style that they've been producing. Heskey is up with Smica. Not sure that didn't work to the disadvantage of Liverpool, that whistle. It was a foul, but there wasn't the greatest amount of cover. Is going to run up and hit this. I don't think he is. He's now walking away unless he's trying to look extra nonchalant. Murphy on the ball, takes. Header out was by Lockwood. Smica. Well up, Rodriguez. Didn't have to climb too high from his starting position. Here's Juve. Ooh, he thought about the shot. Pass, still no incision. Now it's a question of holding what advantage they've gained. Heskey's 8th goal of the season, for the record.
Still think the best way of holding the advantage is to continue as they have done for most of the second half at the Yeovil end of the pitch and try and just drag them with so many men back. But certainly Gordon in particular and their second striker, who's half and half, Williams, just they've not had the midfield support that they had in that first 45 minutes.
And substitution coming for Yeovil. That's Kirk Jackson we were looking at. He's on in place of Colin Pluck. So extra attacker for the defender. Had to do something to change it because it's been all Liverpool in this second period. Started with carrying the fight to the opposition. They've got to find that again somehow. Not to be left concentrating on the league, as the expression goes. Osho. Hyman. Kuehl. You were with us at the beginning when we had some coverage of Gary Johnson taking a training session. There was an observation from him. How hard is it to get it back when you give it away? And at the moment, Yeovil cannot get hold of the ball.
That's still because they're too deep. They're allowing Houpier, Bishgan and Harman in particular just thread balls around each other in little triangles, whereas before they were in amongst them and put them under pressure.
Shout of hold it. Beautiful ball. Schmitzer. Away by way. Kuehl. Penalty. Well, he turned inside Rodriguez. Harry Kuehl possibly trying to set up the left foot shot. Just inside the box. And a penalty given.
Well, I just think that's bad decision. I just think he's inviting to make some call. I don't think there's a lot of challenge there at all. He's thrown himself forward. I don't like to see that, but it's a penalty given.
It's extra flick of the boots of his own momentum by Harry Kuehl. Catching the referee's eye, the penalty awarded. Shame for Yeovil. For Chris Wheel to add to a growing reputation. Danny Murphy to take it, score from the penalty spot in this round. Last year it proved to be decisive against Manchester City. If he scores a second now for Liverpool against Yeovil, it's likely to be decisive here too. And he does, right in the corner. No chance at all for Chris Wheel. 2 goals in the 70s, the 70th minute and the 77th minute, and the scoreline now emphatically shows Liverpool's control.
Yeah, tucked it away well. It was Murphy who threaded the ball through to Kuehl initially. 1 against 1 is always going to be a bit of a problem, and self-satisfaction, not surprisingly, being under the spotlight last few days for this game, and they're definitely coming away with the right result now.
So that's the score position, and the substitution for Yeovil has brought on Jamie Gosling. And the earlier substitute, Lindegaard, is the player who's been replaced.
Always going to happen to a certain extent, because they've almost just got 3 at the back now. They've brought Lockwood over this side, almost left side of 3 at the back, and that's why there's going to be more gaps. But of course the gamble just came a bit unstuck a little bit with Jackson further up as the second striker. They've lost their momentum.
supporters being heard now. Home crowd gone a little quiet. Free kick against Juve. Johnson. Need an early reply at Yeovil if this game is not to slowly die in the mist. Up by Risa. Way to retrieve. Johnson is square, available. Massive bodies in the box. Oh, close by Skiverton.
Should have been a goal, actually. Good ball in, hanging up there, and he's cleared the back too, and he's just got in front, definitely, of Honcho. Free header, and I just think Skiverton will think to himself, I should have got it on target.
Game's full of should-haves and might-have-beens, particularly in the FA Cup. And if Yeovil are to do it now, it will be a sensational result from 2 down. Contrast between the performances of the two sides in the two halves. Lockwood. Schmitzer. Confident piece of play by Rodriguez. They need some inspiration. One suspects the home crowd, even if they're going to accept that their team isn't going to win, they would like to have a moment to remember. Promised in the first half, but they really have not been in the game in the second period. Cool, boos for him. No doubt what the home crowd will feel about the penalty decision and his part in it. Onshore.
Well, this is just going to go back and across, and they're just going to make sure they keep possession and play out time. 10 minutes will seem a long period.
Cool. Okay. Against Gosling. Heskey on the penalty spot, just short is Schmitzer, but Schmitzer is not going to stay there because he's coming off. Bruno Cheroux, yes it is, to replace him. Frenchman who hasn't been able to show what he would say is his true form. Only in flashes. It's been a bit of the story of the new boys at Liverpool, for which the manager has taken a lot of criticism. But we're going backwards. And is this really necessary? Murphy. Heskey makes the run ahead of him. Murphy doesn't want to supply. He didn't seem to make a great effort to supply. Oh! Cheroux is in the game.
Clumsy challenger, just jogging across now to you can see him at the top of the pitch as the left footer, so he wants to play on the left. LH Juve coming onto this right hand side.
Johnson giving it away, ambitiously trying to find Gosling on the far side. Seem to be more reds on the pitch than hoops. Johnson. Skiverton. Difficult pass from the skipper, very well taken by Williams. It's more like it. Gall Got a man over, that's Gosling. And a good strike. Again, the goalkeeper electing to punch the ball away. That's his style, it was a good stop.
That'd be a good one for the cameraman. I think it was Jackson, wasn't it? Hit the shot on the turn, hit it well enough, but nice height. And definitely, probably Dudek smiled at the camera as he made his dive.
Still on, cheeky, but it didn't work from goal. Cool. Juve, boo to boo. That's certainly a free kick. That's Jamie Gosling. Check on the position for Tummy Bud. This is Harmon. Sheru. Shea Harmon. German could have a crack. So could Murphy. Dead straight. Williams. Well, the save in the first half was telling for Dudek. There's another flying punch away, which is pretty spectacular to deny Jackson. I'm not sure it needed to be that spectacular, but that's his style of pushing things away. Archer's head. Murphy's telling it. Heskey. Get the ball back, come on, is the shout from Gary Johnson. I think an easy tool would be hoping that Yeovil managed to get one. Williams. The final outcome is no longer in doubt. But delay that cup of tea for a moment. You might miss a goal that's worth remembering.
Yeah, I think it's a shame that the second half petered out from their point of view. I don't know whether it was subconsciously or what, but they just got them back too deep, and it was started to allow Liverpool to pass them really and hurt them at the back and through Harmon, which they didn't in the first 45 minutes. They never got amongst them like they did in this second period, and that allowed it to become quite comfortable, and the goal almost an inevitable when it arrived with Heskey.
Lockwood. Williams. Crittenden. Got to find the pace that they had in the first half with the movement as well. Too easy for Bischan. Liverpool to bring on another substitute, another Frenchman, Anthony Lutelek, in place of El Hadjdiouf. Lutelek, who came over at the same time as Pongo from Le Havre. And he's got 3 minutes. See if he can get a touch of the ball. Shades of night seem to be falling fast here in the middle of the afternoon. And he's got a touch and he's conceded a free kick.
Pick up the yellow card, right?
Yes, I think so. Kicking the ball away. Oh dear, oh dear. pounded the record, but he's not got too much danger of picking up a second. There isn't enough time. Now can Yeovil find a consolation goal from this free kick? Everybody forward, including Rodriguez, but it's too strong.
It's a shame because I think Lee Johnson's probably been one of Yeovil's better players. He's had a big lead, particularly the first 45 minutes. I thought he and Darren Way got in amongst them pretty well. Darren then didn't push up on Harman, but I thought Lee Johnson could be very pleased with his contribution.
Well, they're 5th in Division 3. It will be their 3rd defeat on the trot, but I'm not sure that will be a serious worry. Taking 22 out of the last 22 points out of their last 11 games. That's how the manager has persuaded all to judge it. Longer term, which is quite an achievement for any manager to do. Harman, Murphy. Cry of Heskey for England. But his goal was crucial at the time when Liverpool were running the match and they needed something to show for their possession. Penalty making it certain that it would be a Liverpool victory. Scored by Murphy. Just a couple of minutes of stoppage time. But it's an academic point, really. Crittenden. Goal. Gad's got a second chance. Having got the second chance, rather snatched at it. And wasn't really quite up alongside the ball, his standing foot.
It was a bit deep picking it up for the strike. He's quite often, certainly in the second half, been a bit too isolated, lacking support. His second striker, Gavin Williams, couldn't get close, and then of course they brought another striker on, Jackson, and conceded the second goal, the penalty. So since then, it's been an inevitable outcome.
Well, he and Fergie will both be in the draw on Monday. Maybe against each other, who knows? Metallic. Tidy Johnson. Williams. Good support from the home crowd. Just short of 9,500 at the match. Heskey. Shearu, Lutalek wants it on this side. Comfortably cut out. Trying to the end, and their manager demanding, come on, 2 minutes. Give yourselves something to show. Well, they showed quite a lot in the first half, but they've not been in the game in the second half.
No, as you said, there's just now the Yeovil fans just giving their team a good reception to finish off the game, but looks like this weekend initially it's going to be mainly Gillingham and Telford emerging as the giant killers and not Yeovil Town on this occasion.
Harman. Liverpool go through. It's the end of the trail for Yeovil. Emil Heskey with the telling first goal in the 70th minute, and then after Harry Kuehl made rather a lot of a challenge to get a penalty, Danny Murphy scoring the second from the penalty spot in the 77th. Well, they came here to enjoy themselves, the supporters, the team of Yeovil came here to show what football they could play, having just come up from the conference after trying for, what, about 108 years to get into the Football League. They showed there what they can do. and one wishes them well in their challenge to get promotion for the second year running. But it's Liverpool who go into the hat for the 4th round, and Gary Johnson can, as I said earlier, with his team, concentrate on the league.
Well, Yeovil did themselves enormous credit, but a more professional, better performance from Liverpool in the second half, and embarrassment avoided.
Well, Yeovil were brilliant. They just didn't read the script. The onslaught was only supposed to last for 20 minutes. It lasted a lot longer, but the harsh reality is if you don't score in that period when you're on top, then you'll find yourself in trouble. In the second half, Liverpool dominated. Heskey came on, gave them a little bit of extra pace and movement, had a good chance saved by the keeper, and then scored the first goal. And after that, to be fair, Liverpool were cruising.
Yeah, I thought in the second half that Liverpool always looked far more likely, didn't they?
It was, I would say, the top of the programme. Quality is going to win this game. The pitch is good enough to show that difference in quality. And we were just touching on it at half-time, how hard Yeovil had worked and how much energy they've used. And it was obvious in the second half they couldn't keep that up. And for them to have any kind of result today, they needed to do that. And it was all for Liverpool in the second half, and I thought that Liverpool actually did really well in the second half.
Fantastic effort by Yeovil.
Yeah.
It's been a massive day for them, and I think they performed extremely well. But certainly in the second half, when Liverpool got on top, the goal was always going to come, and I think in the end, obviously, they've won it quite comfortable. But you can't give enough credit to Yeovil today.
I think anybody watching the match will remember the first half, the Yeovil performance, which, I mean, was well above the division that they're in. I mean, they passed and moved it. Quality passing.
And the imagination behind the players.
We mentioned the class players that Liverpool had in the team, never got near Yeovil.
Well,
just didn't get close to them.
I think the players are receiving a tremendous ovation from the Yeovil fans.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, they've got players in this team that could. I mean, they're challenging for promotion to the second division, and I would expect a team like this, if they can continue playing and developing as they've done, they would most certainly be in with a shot.
I can never recall a team of their quality playing as well.
No, the third division. No.
Unbelievable.
No, exactly. I think the thing as well is, financial windfall as well today, and as Peter said, in a great position in Division 3. You hope they can just kick on.
But what they've got here is young players with, I mean, they've played together for a few years, and you could see that today, the understanding between them, and they've, by the looks of it looks like they've got a manager who can inspire and work with young players, and it looks very good for you.
That's a pertinent point, because the manager, I mean, picks the players like we said at the top, and he's got these players playing for each other, but playing a type of football that is a credit to them. Absolutely fantastic.
The game really turned on the substitution of bringing on of Heskey, didn't it? Really, I mean, he came and he had a chance, and then the goal.
I mean, the pace of him, the power of him. It was extremely direct, and obviously, I think this is the first chance for him.
Actually, his first
touch in the game. Great first touch, but a terrific save.
That's a good. And at that point, we think, well, Yeovil are going to stay in the game, because those are the kind of chances that the better teams normally kills the game off with. But the goalkeeper made a very good save.
Another side of the box, it was the goal.
Yeah.
Played in again.
Movement again was
again. The movement was the important part. And this is what we've been crying out for.
This is my man, Danny Murphy.
Get yourself in the box. Don't start playing in the halfway line. Get yourself. Look at this. Just a little bit of movement away from the defender and hit.
He's a much better player when he keeps the game so simple. That's all he basically needs to do.
Just have a look at this. For me, this is Danny Murphy trading what he did all the second half, trading everything good come out of the Liverpool team. His little 1-2 there, and he sees that. He sees the movement from Heskey, and it's a good finish by Emil Heskey. But the whole thing came from the movement of Danny Murphy. He gets the ball back there, and he sees that little movement, and that's a clever player doing that.
Good finish.
Yeah.
Very
great finish.
Very good.
And from then on, it was game.
The reaction of the manager.
Yeah. One of joy, perhaps an element of relief. Let's hear from the man with Ivan Gaskell.
Gerard, before the game, there was green and white everywhere. They were playing the club song. There was a big atmosphere and expectation. Let's be honest, that's why we're here. So congratulations on a professional job.
Yeah, I think you were probably expecting an upset, and even Gary announced it yesterday. But I'm First of all, we have to acknowledge that Yeovil had a very good game. I mean, Gary Johnson's men fought very hard and made it difficult. And we knew that we would have to withstand the pressure for some time, probably try to tire them out. I think in the second half, we came out and we didn't let them have a lot of the ball. It was just a matter of time when we would finish it. But I think the boys were magnificent, really. I mean, Liverpool played with a lot of professionalism about them. In those games, attitude and commitment are key assets, and I think we had that today.
How important was it for you today?
It's important because we know at the moment that we not hold our team out, but the spirit is so good in the team that it would have been very sad to waste that opportunity to step up again.
You spoilt it for the neutrals today, but well done.
Thanks very much.
There's a difference between expecting and searching for one, isn't there?
He listens to everything.
And so he should. But you're always looking for a giant killing at this stage of the season. That's what the third round's all about. But in the second half, it was never coming.
Well, it was always going to be tricky for them. I mean, coming here with the reputation of Yeovil and the way Yeovil played in the first half, but they came out, they played better in the second half. But overall, if you look at the Liverpool performance, I wouldn't be happy every time. I mean, we're talking about the first half on the left-hand side where they're obviously vulnerable, but watch them, the big weakness that they've got is every time the ball comes in the air in the box, they look like they're going to score a goal.
Yeah. The game, Peter, was really sealed with the penalty decision once it got to 2-0.
But I've just got to make a comment there. I disagree with Julio there because he says it was just a matter of time for us to score. And if you go back to the first half, Yeovil did have some chances.
I presume he means in the second half because I had the same feeling, to be honest.
Yeah,
in the second half.
Well, I just think we should just mention that because I don't think it was not that easy for Liverpool. I totally agree with you that if I was Liverpool, I would not be happy with that performance. But they did a professional job, and I think they sort of not cheated their way, but it was a bit of a dive for the second goal. And Yeovil at that point might just have had a little sniff.
There were one or two incidents in the game of players going down a little bit eagerly, shall we say?
Easily. Oh, most definitely. There's any doubt about that.
This is good defending to start with.
El Hadj Diouf. I mean, it's hardly a touch, and he's away. And
I have to say that
this is worse. This is worse. He gets booked for this one.
Yeah,
and quite rightly so. There's no contact there whatsoever.
It has no place in football, that. And I was so happy to see the referee booking him there because we don't want to see that. And then
this one,
harsh. I don't know what he's thinking about there.
From that angle,
there might be a case that he's too close to the situation and probably couldn't see it rightly. Look at this. There's no touch at all.
Absolutely minimal contact.
Would you say that was a dive, Mark?
Yes. Yeah. I don't think there's any argument. Well taken penalty, by the way. But I think that's a very, very harsh decision on Yeovil.
Murphy, decent penalty.
Peter's man.
That's a good penalty.
It would have looked better if Yeovil had come out of this game 1-0. Liverpool would still have won the game, and they would have. But that penalty decision there is I mean, I don't want to see that in football. I don't think anybody wants
for it whatsoever.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Just takes a gloss off the day a little bit.
And if you think how hard they've worked to suffer that kind of punishment at the end of the game, I think that's very, very harsh on them.
Okay, one or two other games taking place today. Let's see what happened at Villa Park. Villa against Manchester United, watched by Steve Wilson.
Whittingham. O'Shea and Angel together. O'Shea's arms were wrapped around Juan Pablo Angel. Mike Riley had a perfect view of it. Here's Whittingham. Whittingham caught by Buck, play on. Gareth Barry. Deflection! And Barry's scored for Aston Villa! And they deserve the goal! And Gareth Barry, on his right foot, which is not his best foot, puts Aston Villa in front thanks to a deflection off Wes Brown. Oh, lovely volleyed pass from Nicky Butt, Roy Keane, and Ryan Giggs, what a goal this could be, has supported the centre, and Paul Scholes equalises for Manchester United. What a lovely ball that was. and Ryan Giggs was aware of the presence of Scholes, and Aston Villa are undone. A splendid goal. Falls to Scholes. Ryan Giggs running at J. Lloyd Samuel. He squeezed the cross in, and Scholes is there again. And Manchester United have turned it around. Paul Scholes twice. Great run by Scholes because he'd provided the pass for Giggs.
There's a fantastic volleyed pass from Nicky Butt, which started the first one.
Yeah, it was a marvellous through pass, and Ryan kept his head, kept his composure, and it was a tap-in for Scholes, really. Second goal was a marvellous finish, absolute marvellous finish. Oh, we played some great football.
When you play Manchester United to be leading 1-0, I don't think it's ever safe, no matter who you are, because you've that much quality that can hurt you. And if you have a little period of you start sitting back or start dropping off the pace and letting them play, they can hurt you, and they did in that period of time.
That was Grant McCann there scoring for Cheltenham at Fulham. That was in the 4th minute of the game, but just 3 minutes later, speculative ball forward, and Louis Sahar with a deft finish has equalised. It's now half-time in that game, Cheltenham-Fulham, and it remains 1-1 at Loftus Road. And the draw for the 4th round, you can see that on BBC Two on Monday at 1 o'clock. Right, let's hear from the manager of Yeovil, Gary Johnson. He's with Ivan.
Gary, I suggested to you at half-time that there was a sense of... from the top. Gary, you said you didn't feel there was a sense of a shock at half-time on the cards. How do you feel now?
Well, I feel two things. One of disappointment and one of being proud. Very proud of the players. Very proud of the football club to stage such a great event and the atmosphere that was created. But I was just disappointed with the 20 minutes just in the middle of after half-time, where we didn't keep the ball as well as we did. We had to make a couple of enforced changes, which didn't help our pattern, and Liverpool then began to get on the ball and start creating chances. Having said that, overall, I would have thought we had as many chances as Liverpool, and as you said, my boys were in a good football match.
One or two moments where Liverpool players seemed to hit the deck rather more easily than you might like. The penalty for one. Replays suggest there wasn't really much contact. Does that take the gloss off it a little for you?
No, not at all, really. I mean, it's a football match, and it just means that they respected us enough to every now and again try and cheat. But it's not a cheat, you know. At the end of the day, if people get touched, sometimes they go down, sometimes they get it. I'm not sure there was... I don't know about the penalty, but that was a touch. He went down, and there's not a great deal of difference between the youth at one end and what happened for the penalty. So we don't get involved in that. At the end of the day, we try to play football, and I thought my boys did it, and I'm proud of them.
I hate to say this, but you can concentrate on the league now. Sorry.
No problem. We've had a great game, and credit to Liverpool, credit to Gerard Houllier, and we wish them luck in the cup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the final brilliant interview with that guy. The way his team played today. The harsh reality again of life is that you've got to score when your team's in top. They didn't. Liverpool came back in the second half, but the day was all about Yeovil.
Gentlemen, we've run out of time, but thanks for your company, as always. OK, that's it from us here in Yeovil. It was all green for a while, but it all turned red in the second half. Goodbye.